Mike Yanek show. Chupa 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 best show on the planet. Chupa chupa Mike Yanek show. Chupa 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 best show on the planet. Chupa chupa bow wow 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 bow wow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host for your podcast, Mr. Mike Yanek. Yay! Woo! Yeah, we love you, Mike. Bam! How you doing, bro? Episode numero 7. Episode number 7. Doesn't matter, does it? How you doing, bro? I hope that you're having a good week. Did you had a good week? Have you been a good boy? Have you been a good girl? Have you been shaking that booty and making that money? If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you listened to the previous episode about the strip clubs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But in this episode, we're gonna talk. I have a few topics. I don't know if I'll ever reach the point where I'll actually talk about the topic because, like, few things happened the other day, and I'm just gonna talk about them. But the idea for this podcast is to talk about conspiracy theories and just to discuss some of them because there's like, oh, this shit fucking never stops. Is there all these stupid conspiracy theories just fucking floating around? And I was thinking like I need to discuss some of them, but if I have the time, because you know what happened the other day, mate. So the other day, mate, I'm too old for this shit. Have you ever felt, that, which was the movie, like Lethal Weapon or whatever, that Danny Glover, I don't know the name of the character, and he always goes, I'm too old for this shit. So Mel Gibson, what was the name of the Mel Gibson character though? I don't remember, probably like John or something generic like that, because he was like, when was it, like the late 80s, early 90s? I think was the Lethal Weapon. Oh man, I fucking love Lethal Weapon, by the way. It's like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. And he always just looks at him like, John, I'm too old for this shit, man. And I feel I'm 30, but I genuinely sometimes I feel like a 65-year-old guy. No disrespect to all the 65-year-old people listening to this podcast. And I know there's a lot of them. That's a huge that's a huge demographic for me. But I just feel too old for this shit, mate. I just can't fucking do it no more, Last night, these podcasts are pre-recorded, but last night we went to, so one of our comedian mates, he's moving down to London. I live in Liverpool, and he's from Liverpool as well, by the way. Great guy, and he also books gigs, so I've gigged for him and with him many times. Very good friend, and we were doing like a little going away party in a pub here near my, in my neighborhood, 15 minutes away from my house or whatever. Oh, bruh, I'm just too old, man. I'm genuinely too old. So it was on a Friday. I usually don't go out on the weekend nights. You know what I mean? And when I go out, I always go out to like restaurants or just quiet. I just want quiet. I just need some quiet in my life. God damn it! I don't like loud stuff, man. I don't like loud music. I'm too loud on stage as it is. I don't need more loudness in my life. You know what I mean? I'm very loud. And the thing is, man, I just can't fucking do this shit no more. We walked in. So the thing is, like, there was supposed to be some of his comedian mates, and there's some other, like, his civilian mates, you know what I mean? All his mates. But the thing is, he's 24, so all his mates are either from, like, I think, did he went to uni? But yeah, so he finished uni and now he's going to London for 1 year to study something. I don't know, whatever the fuck. And all his mates are from like uni and stuff, but they're all kids, mate. They're like 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? They're all fucking kids, and they're all like all these guys just bursting with energy and like, oh yeah, we're out on a Friday night, that type of energy. And I just I don't have that energy in me anymore. I don't. I used to be like that when I was like 17 and 18, but I'm just like a very old geezer, and I have, like a lot of work and shit to do, and I just can't be bothered, mate, honestly. So it's just me, and I was dead on time, by the way. 8:00, I was there. All his mates were already there, and I was expecting, because we did like a Facebook event, and you have the check mark where you can, oh, I'm going, I'm not going, whatever. 35 people, 35 comedians checked in, that they're coming. And I was thinking like, it's gonna be jam packed, there's gonna be so many comedians, it's gonna be, it's gonna be awesome. I was not expecting so many civilians. And this is how I call the people who are not comedians civilians. And it was just me at the beginning, right? and all his like 20 mates, and they're all jumping up and down. Yeah, and I'm there fucking with my grandpa sweater. I love sweaters, mate. Honestly, I reached a point in my life where I just love wearing stuff like that. When I was a kid, my grandmother, she always used to give me sweaters for my birthday and Christmas and all that type of stuff. And I used to get really mad. I was like, "I'm not a sweater again," you know what I mean? But now, dude, I'll fucking kill for a good sweater. Honestly, I love them. And I have this like really nice mustard colored sweater. And it's like, I love it, man. It's fantastic. I bought it from River Island. Okay, this I don't want to turn this episode about fashion again, you know what I mean? But it's just me, mate, and his mates and stuff, and all the comedians, man, they kind of were late, like, which is kind of usual. But out of 35 people that checked, only 4 people, including me, showed up, from the comedians, and I was like, ah, fuck, man. But it was good though. It was good. But the thing is, the music. Oh, bro, why are these music so loud, man? In these bars and shit, and it's like a local bar. And the thing is, the place was small, but it kind of looked big at the same time, you know what I mean? And upstairs they had like this dodgy disco, which is very strange. It was like this, it just, it looked kind of an old building, so upstairs was kind of old, but somebody painted it with these like disco. I wouldn't even say graffiti. It was kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like these disco paintings, and they had like a smoke. They had a smoke machine made. They had a fucking smoke machine. You know what I mean? And this is like a local, I think it's like a dive bar. I'm not big on pubs and bars, to be honest with you, so I don't really know the lingo and the culture. Like this local dive bar with a fucking smoke machine upstairs, mate. Like, what the fuck? And they had like fucking confetti, and it looked kind of cheap, but it was full of, it was weird. The mixture of people was kind of weird because, like, you had babies, mates, you know, me mates, they were like all in his 20s, and you have like these people in their like 40s. Yeah, and I think I was the only 30-year-old. You know what I mean? Like in the UK, it's very interesting. We have like these bars and like pubs and stuff where they do the discos, but it's mostly people over 40. It's very strange. I've noticed a few places, even when I first came to the UK, it made an impression on me. Like they had like the discos and the clubs and all that stuff where the young people go like in their 20s or early 30s, but they had like these places and mostly pubs that turned into discos, you know what I mean? Not like special disco places. I don't know why I'm keep calling it a discotheque. Like, I'm sure there's a different name for it, but that's how fucking long it's been since I've been to one of these places. And I've noticed it's only like people over 40 or people like my parents' age, because my parents are very young. So I was thinking, like, fucking hell. And it was like this group of people, like these 20-year-olds and these like people that can be their parents, you know what I mean? That was kind of interesting. And I don't know, man. Just the music was blasting so fucking loud. I'm not joking. I know I sound like a proper geezer now, just fucking complaining. I'm just starting off the podcast with complaining how loud the music was. But it's so loud, so it's me and, the other comedians. Because, me mate, he just run away somewhere with his mates and stuff. And, I like to spend time with comedians because they're me mates and they're funny. I don't know, comedians are interesting people. I find them fascinating and I just love talking to them. And you can say anything with comedians. Sometimes with civilians, you need to be careful what you say because they're like, oh, they kind of like pull back and stuff. And you're like, mate, I'm only joking, bro, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes they kind of pull back, but with comedians, so when I go out with me civilian mates, it's sometimes they kind of like, oh, Mike, what are you saying? And I was like, oh, bro, I'm just working out some material over here. What's happening, And I'm just talking to the comedians, but we're literally shouting in each other's faces, and we're like 4 inches away or whatever from each other's faces because it's so fucking loud, and this place is tiny. But everybody, like, is drunk. Everybody's drunk and stuff. So the other people, they don't care. They're like, oh yeah, my god, I fucking love this song. The music is like bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? And we're just shouting, yeah, what did you? Yeah, did you did that gig the other day? Oh, it's so much fun, bro. Blah, 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 blah. So it was like, it was really annoying, and I really hate places like that. I like to go to, even if it's like a really noisy restaurant, I like either cafe shops or like if it's a bar with no music. I don't want any music, or if there's any, just very, 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 very little, very little. Um, what's the word for little in uh, In Spanish, mucho is big. I don't know how it's little though. Doesn't matter. Man, my Spanish is not good. Like we've noticed in the 7 episodes so far, my Spanish is no bueno. No bueno, señor. Your español is no bueno. And I went to Spain, and what was that? Oh, it was like ages ago, and yeah, it was a weird experience for me because everybody when they approached me, they think I was Spanish, so they straight away, hey, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down, you know what I mean? And me mate, she was really insisted on me speaking Spanish. I don't know why, and she knows I don't speak any Spanish. And for the first time in my life, I was actually shy in front of strangers, which never happens. I'm like a donkey. I don't have any. Um, what's it called? Any not? I forgot the word now. Any shame? I don't have any shame. We have this expression in Bulgaria, which is like shameless like a donkey. You know what I mean? So I'm just like a donkey, mate. I have no shame, but and I don't get shy or anything like this. Especially in front of strangers, I really like to talk to strangers and just entertain people. But for the first time in my life, I genuinely got shy when we went to a restaurant, and she insisted on me because I don't drink, so I always order water and stuff. But the weather was kind of warm and stuff. It was during the summer, so I was like, I'm just gonna have water because usually either I have water, tea or juice. But I was like, I just want water. And she insisted on me because the waiter didn't speak much English because it was like in a small town or whatever, like a local pub. And she insisted on me to order, can I have 1 glass of water, please, in Spanish? Which the only thing I remember was, so aqua is water, please is por favor, uno glass. I don't remember how glass was, glass or something like that. Glass. No, and somehow, so she told me like 4 times, and I was genuinely so nervous, mate. Honestly, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have some water because the waitress, she was away, and she was like, okay, when she comes. Oh, she did. She had an accent and stuff. She has a very okay. Let's just say it cute. She had a cute accent. I don't want to say funny because it's very disrespectful towards me, mate. But let's just say she had a very cute accent, And she was like, when she comes, she's gonna say 1 glass of water. Can I have 1 glass of water, por favor? Thank you. And she told me the sentence, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And she was like, no, you're doing it because I was there for like a week or something, and she got really mad at me because I'm like, I walk into a store and hey, how you doing, mate? Blah, just starts talking in English because I don't know, I talk in English all the time. And she got really mad. No, you're in Spain. You need to at least learn a few words. You need to know a few phrases. And I refused. I was like the most, like, I don't know, like nationalistic guy about the English language, which which is kind of bizarre because I'm Bulgarian, but it's just fucking weird. And I was just using all the phrases and stuff. And the waitress come, I was so nervous, mate, honestly. And I was like, hey, uno, por favor. And the waitress, she was not entertained at all. I don't know why. Maybe she was having a tough day or something. She was just looking at me, and my friend's like, "Yeah!" She's like clapping. She's so happy, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, see, okay." She did not, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" And then I said to her, "I put all that effort then," and the waitress didn't even acknowledge it. She didn't even give me a pat on the back or something. Be like, "Oh, you're a good boy now. Well done." I didn't get fucking anything. Jesus Christ! But I had a fun time in Spain. But anyway, what I was saying at the bar, let's go back to the English bar. And yeah, by the way, if you've listened to a few episodes so far, you've noticed that there is not much of a structure. You know what I mean? Like my mind goes off the rails all the time because you know what happened? To be honest with you, I did it one episode with notes, which was episode 2, and I was like, I'm gonna follow a structure. I had notes, and I didn't really. I recorded the episode twice because the first time the audio was not good, but I did not enjoy the experience at all. It was fucking shit. I didn't like it. I mean, I think the episode is okay, and I think the episodes are getting better as the show progresses, and I'm learning more. But I was like, I was not myself. It was fucking. I didn't enjoy it. Why I need to read off a script and be like, because I was like, I want to be professional. I want the stories to go somewhere. Blah blah blah. But then when I did the episode about the cricket in the next episode, which was like random stories, it just I was just being myself and just ranting and being all over the place. You know what I mean? And I got so much fun. And I was really thinking about this. Oh my God, should I have like these notes and bullet points? Okay, I'm gonna talk about this, and then check them secretly. And I was like, fuck this shit, mate. I'm just gonna be myself, mate. I'm a sweet boy. You know what I mean? Just Mikey boy over here, mate. And and the whole idea of this is just for me to have fun. I don't want to be like, I don't want this to feel like a job or like a chore. So fuck this shit, man. I'll be all over the place. So yeah, you try to keep up where I'm going with this. So anyway, let's go back to the bar. And so the music is blasting, mate. Oh, it's a fucking nightmare. And I'm really enjoying the conversation with the comedians, but it's madness, right? And all of a sudden the music kind of slows down, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get a fucking break finally. And after a few seconds, I hear, hey, how you doing, guys? Are you okay? You enjoying yourself? And everybody's like, whoa, everybody's screaming, and I'm just looking at the speakers, and I was like, what is that, like from a live concert or something? And then it's like, okay, this first song, and I was like, hold on, what the fuck's happening? And the music and the sounds are even louder, mate. They're going insane. And this guy starts bang, 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 playing his guitar, and I turn around and I see across, like next to the bar, there is this tiny, you cannot even call it the stage. Honestly, it looks like, in the local stores where they have like clothing shops, because they don't have the space, they have like the little display or like a mannequin or something, but it's tiny right in front of the window. So this guy is there, right? And he's playing his guitar. And the thing is, I fucking hate live music. Honestly, like, I know a lot of people will be like, oh my God, Mike, how can you say stuff like that? I'm unsubscribing to your channel. I fucking hate. Listen, I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna triple down. I'm gonna four times. No, hold on. Double down, triple down, four times down, fifth times down. Nobody uses four times down though, isn't it? Just give me a second. Oh, some refreshing aqua. Haha. You see, I bring it back to the Spanish words. Some refreshing water. Anyway, I'm gonna triple down on what I said. I fucking hate live music. Live music is shit unless you go and see a huge band and a concert and a proper venue. You know what I mean? I fucking hate like random, open mic musicians or whatever trying to sing like really famous AC/DC songs or whatever. They usually butcher them. It's I fucking hate that. Honestly, I know a lot of people are gonna be mad, and I have people that are musicians, and I mean, if they hear this one day, hey, what can I do, mate? This is what I think, I fucking hate open mic music because it's shit. It's always shit. And this guy, because the thing is, like, it was weird though because it's a bar, but it's like a disco as well, I think. But it's just a bar, but like with the music and the vibe and the people, it felt like a disco, and it was really jam packed. And this guy starts bang 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 bang, bang, like. It's so fucking loud, mate. It's unbelievably loud, and he's singing some random songs, whatever. And I was just like, oh fuck. But I did enjoy my time with the comedians because like we don't get to see each other that often because everybody's really busy. So I get to see them only at gigs, and they're my mates. They're like family to me, because you kind of get a very quick bond with the people that are a part of your work field, your community, your endeavors. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, because you're all in the trenches together, so you know what everybody's going through, and you get to bond very quickly. Like, I've been doing comedy for about, well, at the time of this recording, about 6 months. By the time this thing gets out, about 7 months. So, and I know some people from like 5 or 6 months, and I feel like I've known them all my life. You know what I mean? And you have this instant connection very quickly, because if they told you, oh, I did a gig 2 days ago, I fucking, oh, hold on, fucking died on my ass, and you'll be like, yeah, I know, you know what I mean? I've been there. So, but it was really enjoyable to see them. Anyway, I don't know, man. It's like the whole live music thing. But the thing is, when I do stand up in these how do you call it, man, in the pubs and shit, it's kind of the same stuff though, isn't it? Like, I've done gigs where they like the locals and the people who go there often every day, they had no idea that there's gonna be a comedy night on. They just like, well, here we go, and now, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for some comedy? And people are like, hold on, what are we doing? You know what I mean? They're just like, hold on, what's happening? And they just want to have a conversation or chill and have a beer in peace or whatever. And all of a sudden, some dumbass like me, goes on stage like, hey, so the other day, you know what I mean? And we kind of like ambush these people without expecting. It's the same for me with the live music. If I just go there, oh, dude, so we went. Oh, this is interesting story. Talking about live musicians and how much I don't like them. It's and not that they're not talented. I mean, I've seen like the thing is, music doesn't play a big part of my life. I'm not very keen on music. I just don't know why. A lot of people are really really surprised because all of the people I know, everybody is like, music is the probably one of the most important things to them in their life, and some of them are collectors, vinyls or like CDs, or they have like these huge music libraries, and they're interested and they always follow the trends. You know what I mean? And they know how to enjoy music. They sometimes they play a record and they relax or smoke weed or whatever and just listen to it and like really absorb the music. For me, music doesn't play any role in my life. I genuinely do not care about music because I have around 100 songs, even less, on my phone, which I've had them for the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years. I do not follow new music. I have no idea what's trending, what's been going on, and I just have music. I have the same songs that I like. I mean, but then they're not nothing significant to me. So, like for instance, if my headphones don't, because I don't listen to music when I'm home. So if my headphones sometimes are broken, there's periods where I had periods maybe like 2 or 3 weeks without listening to a single song. And it doesn't make any difference to me. You know what I mean? It's just not a part of that big of a part. I see people, they're like, oh my god, music this, and they start to like romanticize the way they speak about music, and they ask me, and I'm like, music's alright. I mean, nothing special. If all the music disappears tomorrow, I'll be sad for a few days, but then be like, we just keep on going, just keep on going. So it doesn't really make that much effect on me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some talented musicians, like the open mic and stuff, and I don't really understand much about music and singing as well. I don't know what is good singing, what is bad singing, because I have zero musical abilities, like zero. And so this was, I think it was, oh mate, oh my god, time flies really fast though, isn't it? I think this was during January last year. Hold on. Oh no. Sorry. It was oh fuck. Hold on. Fucking my studio is falling apart over here, and oh my god, my studio is so funny, mate. I need to post a picture. Honestly, it's like so improvised, like these fucking pillows, and the microphone is on the top of the box. That the microphone came in, and it's all improvised. But it's good though. I've been listening to some of the episodes, and the audio is pretty good, to be honest, for the little money that I've spent, almost zero. The microphone is like 35 quid on Amazon. I need to post the link somewhere. Do you think I can get like an affiliate program? And if somebody buys, I get some dosh. I get some money because I love some money. And so this was, I think, maybe February or March. I remember it was really cold. Or maybe it was December. I don't know. So me and my mates, we go to this, one of my mates, like, I'm going to show you a place that you've never seen before, Mike, I'm sure, and you really like it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm excited now. So we're in town and we finish our dinner, because what we do with me mates, with my civilian mates, like my going outs with comedians are very different than going outs with my civilian mates, because my civilian mates, I know them for like 3, 4, 5 years. It's a different relationship with them. With my comedian mates, is mostly we talk mostly jokes, and we talk about comedy and just nonsense, just going crazy, and we go to like random places. But with me civilian mates, because they're all my age, because most of the comedians, or some of the comedians are my age, but most of them are a bit younger, because people usually get into stand-up comedy like when they're 18 or 20. Anyway, so we go with me civilian mates, and we have some lunch and stuff in town, and after we finish dinner, after we finish, we go to the high street. I'm not gonna mention where, because I don't want people to find out about this place, because it's relatively small. But if you're in Liverpool and if you live here for a long time, you 100% know where that place is. And so we just walk in, and we stop in front of the, how they have all the shops, like on the streets and stuff. And there is this shop in the middle, like there's like a takeaway on one side, there is like a bar, restaurants, just all these laundry cleaning, whatever, dry cleaning, whatever. And it's this shop, but it looks like it's abandoned, like it's closed. You know how they have these, like, not curtains, but those things that they pull down when they close the shop. I don't know what's the name of it. And there's like these curtains. Everything is just there's no lights. All the lights are off. Everything. So it looks abandoned. And me mates, he just stops there and he was like, "Are you ready?" And I'm just looking around because we're like 4 or 5 people. And I was like, "What do you mean? Where are we going?" And he's like, "I'll show you something." So he does like this little knock. It's like a special knock, like. And I'm like, what? And I was like, "Mate, this shop is out of business. What are you doing?" And a few seconds later, like in the in the mob movies, when they go to the secret hideout or something, they do the little knock and somebody pulls, like the bouncer is on the other side of the door and he pulls this little slit and you can see only his eyes and he watches you for like 2 seconds. He closes it and then he's like unlocking the door and opens. Exactly the same thing happened. There was like this, I don't know, this guy pulled a curtain. All of a sudden I see like two eyes and I was like, hold on, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I thought this place is abandoned and I see this guy and he just pulls the curtain back and it took like 3 seconds and I was like, and I'm like really confused by this point. By the way, it's like maybe like 11 o'clock at night, and usually I'm in bed by 11 because I like to go to bed early, like go to bed at 11. If I'm working, I need to wake up 7 in the morning for work. If I'm not doing my part-time job, I wake up like 8 and start working on my projects and stuff. And like a few seconds later the door opens, and you see this guy like dressed in all black with a suit, like intimidating guy. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's only him, by the way. It's nothing behind him. Behind him is like a completely black wall, and to the side is another door. So it's just him and this like tiny, it's not even a corridor, it's the side, it's like a square foot or something. I don't even know how much a square foot is. I know it's a foot by foot by foot by foot, right? So I don't know how much is a foot. Is like a meter. No, a foot is not a meter, but anyway, it's like, I don't know, 4 square feet, if that's a thing. I have no idea, right? And he just looks at us and he's like, how many? And my friend is like, 5, and he's like, give me a second. And he closes the door and my mate is just looking at me just like a cheeky smile on his face. And I'm like, "Mate, what the fuck's happened?" You know what I mean? I'm like so confused and everybody's laughing because they've all been there, and I've never, because I'm not the type of guy to go to the trendy cafe stores and the, you know what I mean, like the interesting like restaurants and bars. I'm a creature of habit, you know what I mean? If I go to one place and I like it, I just go there. Like I have the same haircut for 7 years now. Like, you know what I mean? If I like something, I just stick with it. And this is just how I am. I don't experiment much. And a few seconds later, the guy opens the door again and he's like, "Yeah, you can come in." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Where the hell are we going?" And the guy just opens the door and you see this place, which is tiny, mate. It's like so narrow. It's like a corridor. So it's like, because here we have on the main street, the shops in the UK are relatively the same size, you know what I mean? But this thing was like the double of that. It's so narrow. You have, it's not even, it's like these tiny couches stuck to the walls, and like these small tables, really small tables. Honestly, I'm not joking, I've never seen tables so small in a cafe shop. And you have like these tiny wooden chairs. Hold on. Oh, I had too much food before this podcast, by the way. I had some pasta. Hey, mamma mia, that is a spicy meatball, you know? You put the rigatoni and you put the pasta, some red sauce. Throw a few meatballs in there, just like mama used to make it. Mwah! Oh, how much I love pasta, mate. Don't get me started. Hold on. I need to do an episode. I need to do an episode where it's all about food. Oh, food. I love food so much. Anyway, so we going into this place, and the waitress comes over. She's like, "Hey," like very polite and smiley and all that stuff. And it looks like a hipster thing, but it looks at the other. It looks like a hipster bar, hipster cafe bar, but it kind of looks at the same time like somebody's living room because there was like a fireplace that didn't work, just like for decoration or something. It looked like somebody's living room, but just shrunk. You know what I mean? It's so fucking weird. And the bar is tiny as well because it's so narrow. And so we sit down, and I'm like, what the fuck am I? All my mates, they're all like giggling and stuff, and they were like, and oh, I'll tell you. Oh man, this is. Oh, hold on. The thing is, I have some. Sometimes your brain, when you have like too much thoughts come into it, like because you remember stuff and you get overwhelmed. And this is a huge problem for me when I express myself, even with mates, because there's like so much information rushing in, and I'm like, okay. I get like too excited, and I cannot even finish the sentence, and I'm starting a new one, and my mates are just looking at me usually and like, hold on, slow down, Mike, relax, slow down, breathe. Okay. So now you are going to, and you know what I mean. And they usually have no idea what I'm talking about because I get like a little puppy. I'm just starting to bounce around. Like, oh my god, I have so many stories now. So yeah, and we sit down, and I was like, and I was like, can I have a menu, please? And she was like, oh yeah, the menus are the menus are on the table. And I look down, and it's like this old book, but like, you know how they have, and I mean old book from back like 100 years ago. You know how all the books back in the day used to have like this leather, um now it's paperback and hardback, and it's just paper, but they used to have like this leather covers. Bizarre, man. I don't like that. It looks bizarre because, and they were like in few colors. They're like green, burgundy, black, and like cream or something. And all the book looked the same, which I don't like that. I don't look like all of them like back 100 years ago. They just have the title, on the book. But if you look at from a distance or like right next to each other, they all look all the same. I don't like that. I like when things are different. That's the fun part. When everything looks different. I don't like when everything looks the same. It's boring, isn't it? And she was like, "It's right in front." And I was like, "But that's a book." I'm like a little kid. I'm like, "Hold on, no. I said a menu. That's a book." And they all giggling on me, mates, because they've been there before. She was like, "No, start." And she showed me. So what they did, that's very clever. So they had an actual book, like Huckleberry Finn or whatever, an actual book, but between every few pages but they glue it in such a way that it looks natural, looks like a part of the book, and they printed the menu. And I was like, oh dude, that's fucking badass. Honestly, I was like, oh, that's awesome, dude. And it took me probably 25 minutes because I just couldn't stop looking at the menu slash book. But I always have the regular stuff. I always have pineapple juice. I have pineapple juice because in the evening, if I'm during the day, I'll have orange juice, because if I drink orange juice after 8 o'clock, I cannot sleep. I don't know why. I was reading it sometime. There's something about orange juice and it makes you hyperactive or something. I'm hyperactive as it is. That's what happens, by the way, when you don't medicate your kids when they have like hyperactive. Is it disorder? How is it called? It doesn't sound right, disorder, isn't it? When they're like really hyperactive and full of energy as kids, that's what happens when you don't medicate them. You get me, which is like this complete ball of insanity and energy. And if you medicate them, they probably become a bit normal or something. But don't medicate your kids, okay? I've said that. I've said that many times. Leave them alone and let them be crazy. It's more fun that way for them. And so I got my pineapple juice and we're drinking, and all of a sudden I've noticed that the actual table is, do you know those old sewing machines that they used to have in the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe? If this was a video podcast, I'll definitely pull a picture and show you. But you probably know what I'm talking about. Oh, hold on, what I'm yawning now? Oh, I'll never eat pasta before a podcast. Fucking hell. I should not, man. Pasta's so good. Oh, pasta's so good, it just knocks you out. You know what I mean? It's so fucking good, though. Pasta is fucking awesome, and it just knocks you out. It's so fucking good. It makes you fall asleep. And the tables were one of those. old sewing machine tables. You know how they have the little pedals at the bottom and they have the machine, but they just removed, the machine, and they've put it somewhere on the wall or something. You know what I mean? Because they were like all these decorations, and I was like, this place looks amazing, honestly. And I was just like so happy, and I was with my mates, and we were talking, and I was having such a great time. There's no music. There's like barely. This type of stuff at the background, you can barely hear it, and I'm just happy, mate. You know what I mean? These moments where you're just chilling, you're like with the right people, and everything's going well, and you had some food before that, and you just one of those good moments. And I've been working the whole week. I've been hustling, bustling, going to the gym, writing, doing this, doing that, whatever, right? Life's good. And all of a sudden, uh, it's always something like that happening to me, mate. My peace. I love peace and quiet. That's my dream. I want to become super rich and famous, and I can fuck off on an island somewhere, you know, and just be by myself, and just chill, and just nobody bother me. And when I have to do a gig or an interview or something, a helicopter comes, picks me up, and in 2 hours or whatever, no less. I don't want to travel 2 hours. In 20 minutes, I don't know. This is an island next to a big city. It's my fantasy, mate. Okay, fuck off. It can be whatever the fuck I want. And in 20 minutes, I go and I do my bit and gigs, and then I go back. And I was thinking like, mm, I was thinking like, oh, this is so good right now. I'm enjoying myself, and all of a sudden, bang, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? You okay? And all of these fucking hipsters made, yeah, whoa, and I was like, shit, wow. And I turn around and I see in the corner next to the next to the non-working fireplace, fuck, this open micer or whatever the fuck. This surfer dude with long blonde hair looks like that Kurt Cobain fellow, whatever the fuck. I don't follow music, mate. I don't know what the hell's happening. And he was like, yeah, man, I do. And I was like, and he started blasting that fucking guitar. And the place was so small, he didn't need a microphone in front of him, but he had a microphone. I don't know why. And then, bam, 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 bam. Oh, Jesus. And I was a sad, sad boy. I started crying. I really hate stuff like that when they happen, mate. Honestly, can I just have a piece of fucking quiet for a second? And then before, was it before or after? I think before that, because yeah. So before that guy started playing, I just want to tell you the story. One of my mates, because I'm single and stuff, and and they tried to set me up with one of their mates, and she was like, I'm not gonna mention any names, okay? Obviously, because if me mates heard this one day, I don't wanna make. I'm not the type of guy like I talk a lot of shit and I make a lot of jokes, but I'm genuinely a good guy and I don't wanna hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Even though if you see me on stage and my showbiz personality is kind of the opposite, I'm kind of mean, rude, and I'll say crazy stuff. But in real life, I'm sweet. You know what I mean? I don't wanna hurt anybody and I don't wanna make fun of anybody in real life, right? So I'm not gonna mention any names, but we're just talking, and me best mate's girlfriend, she's very nice. I really like her. We get along very well. She pulls out her phone and she starts scrolling, and she was like, "Okay, so let's give this girl a name. Let's call her Jenny." Right? Her name was. It's not even close. It's not Jenny. It's not even in the same language group as Jenny. Okay, it's completely different. Anyway, and she was like, "Oh, Mike, have you seen my friend Jenny?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you want I can set you up?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, nah, don't. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And we're making some jokes. Hold on. So we're making some jokes and stuff, and she's like, but she's really cute. She's trying to persuade me, and I'm like, okay then. And I was like, okay, show me a picture. And she shows me a picture, and she's really cute. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, that's very nice. Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, really? And I genuinely start to get interested in her, and she was like, oh, but just to let you know, because like one of the guys, um, was it? Yeah. So we have a gay mate. He's lovely, and he used to live with her. And but the way he describes things, he's so funny though. I love him. He's so funny, and fuck, I need to change all the names now. God damn it, because my friends are gonna hear this podcast. God, shit. My civilian mates is gonna hear this, and I don't want them to be like, oh my god, why? How can you talk about us on your podcast? Fuck, I need to change the names now. Okay, let's say that his name is John. Okay, it's not John. His name is John, and he was like, oh my god, Mike, I used to live with her. The reason I said that, that he is gay and stuff, because if I say, oh yeah, this guy used to live with her for 6 months, you will think, oh, they were together, blah blah blah, but they weren't. And he was like, oh yeah, I used to live with her, and yeah, Mike, she's really cute, she's very sweet, blah blah blah, and I'm like genuinely starting to be like, oh really, oh, and I'm starting to get information, like where was she raised, like what does she do for a living? I'm starting to genuinely get interested now, and all of a sudden, oh by the way, like the girl, she says, me mate's girlfriend, she says, oh by the way, Mike, just to let you know, she's a little bit well, unstable, let's just put it that way. And I was like, what do you mean unstable? Well, she's a bit needy, a bit clingy, clingy, is that a word? I don't know, clingy. She might check upon you, and I was like, what do you mean check upon me? Well, when you're with somebody and you text, and I was like, yeah, because it turns out that my mate's girlfriend, she knew her previous boyfriend of this girl, and I don't even know why I'm telling you the story, but fuck it, I like the story, so fuck off. and they were like, but you text when you're in a relationship, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. And she was like, well, how many times do you think it's normal to text? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, she's gonna text you every 20 minutes. And I was like, hold on, 20 minutes? Yeah, throughout the day. And I'm like, what do you mean throughout the day? Well, what time do you go to bed? I said around 11, 12. Well, she goes at bed at half past 3 at night. So she's gonna text you. And if you don't reply in like 3 minutes, there's a phone call coming for you. There's gonna be a fucking phone call. And you need to explain what's happening, okay? You need to explain what's happening, where are you, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, other stuff like, oh yeah, how do you cope with jealousy? Like, are you a jealous person? And I'm like, I mean, obviously everybody's jealous at a point, but it really depends. I think that it really depends where you are in your life as a person. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm secure and confident in myself, like I am now, like I've been for the last few years, because things are fucking finally working out for me, and I'm in a good place, and I feel I've always been very confident, but for the last few years, things are finally picking up, and if you're confident, and if you trust that person, you'll be fine. And she said, well, yeah, she's not like that. She's completely the opposite. She's a full-blown psycho. And everybody's dying laughing, by the way. And I'm just like, look, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know if this is a practical joke. I don't know if this is a real girl. I just saw a picture. That can be a picture from Tinder. I have no idea if this person is real. You know what I mean? Because the way they speak, and I'm starting to get very suspicious. And they were like, there's going to be jealousy. There's going to be a lot of crying. How do you handle crying? And I was like, well, I haven't cried in a long time. And they was like, no, you idiot. I mean, like when women cry. And I was like, oh, well, it really depends. I mean, if I'm the person who made them cry, then I'll be like, oh, don't cry, my love, No, but you know what I mean? I always turn it into jokes. So honestly, like whenever I've been in relationships and stuff, it's so bizarre, mate, because I disappoint women. I'm very good at disappointing women. This is what I've noticed throughout the years. And if you're in a relationship with me, when I eventually disappoint you, and after a few hours and days or whatever, and when you start crying or something, I don't know how to behave, mate. I was not taught. I told you, like, I don't know if you know this, but when I was growing up, my parents were never around, so I was just raised by the neighbors and the TV, so and my grandparents, but from time to time and stuff. So I don't really know how to handle like normal human emotions. Sometimes I don't know how to process them, because nobody ever sit down and talk to me like this is what you do, or show me. My parents were never around, and I was raised by fucking Flintstones and Bugs Bunny, and you know what I mean, like silly cartoons, outlandish cartoons and stuff. So I don't know how to process human emotions sometimes. So if a girl starts crying and I'm like, well, and just sometimes I just even leave the room. I'm not I'm just like, well, okay. So I'll be back in 5 minutes then. Text me when you finish crying. I know that sounds really bad, but I don't know what to do. I always turn it into joke, and I always try to make them laugh. Or, I mean, I don't cry, but I feel like I should start crying or something just to be sympathetic. Those men who, when their woman gets pregnant, their wife, and they just want to be, is sympathetic the correct word? I'm not sure, but just to show sympathy, solidarity, solidarity with them. And they're like, oh yeah, we're pregnant and we're this, we're that, and oh, I feel her pain and all that type of stuff. And he brings her chocolates and pickles or whatever the fuck. I'm not saying that you should not do that. That is good. Like, look after you, woman. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes I think, like, should I start crying now? You know what I mean? So I don't really know how to process that type of stuff. That's why I think, like, comedy works out for me, because comedians are genuine. Fuck. Okay, Mike, you can do this. Fucking hell, this is gonna be a highlight from the video. Like, highlight from the episode, Mike trying to pronounce the word genuinely. No, this is gonna be a highlight. Fuck. Okay, so. Hold on. Fuck, man. Hold on. I'm gonna open Google Translate. Fucking hell. No, we're doing this, mate. Fucking hell. Translate. Okay, so we open Google Translate. We're gonna do the word, and they have the pronoun generally. Do they have the pronoun? Okay. Hold on. Let's have a look. So the word I'm trying to say. Okay, hold on. Did you hear that? Hold on. Generally. Did you hear that? Can I use that on the podcast? I don't think it's gonna get claimed or anything, innit? Okay, so generally. Okay, yeah. So comedians are generally very. I hope this video doesn't get claimed because of that little soundbite. But there are some words that I cannot pronounce, mate. What can I do? I'm just a foreign boy, came to this country with big dreams, fix boiler for British men, unclog toilet, make some money, sell some socks on the markets, eat some pickles, mayonnaise, go to traditional British shop, like Audi, Lidl, go and shop. One time in my neighborhood. No, I went to a friend neighborhood's shop. It's called Waitrose or something. Waitrose. They didn't let me in shop. They look at me and they say, Vladislav, look at you. You're wearing tracksuit and shoes. And your Adidas tracksuit not even original. We do not let you in shop. So I couldn't buy caviar for £7 of Waitrose essential brand, So don't get mad at me, bro. I cannot pronounce all this stuff. You know what I mean? If you want a proper podcast, go and listen to somebody who can speak English good. You know what I'm saying? But that is part of my charm, That's part of my charm, because I cannot pronounce everything correctly, and it's more fun that way, You're not gonna hear that anywhere else, Anyway, yeah, comedians are usually like that. So, I completely forgot what I was talking about. Honestly, where the fuck was I was supposed to talk about conspiracy theories, mate. Hold on, let's see how much time I have left. 15, 20 minutes. Nah, I'm probably gonna leave. Should I leave it for the next? I'm gonna talk about it though, a little bit, yeah, because I completely forget what was I talking about? Shit. I don't wanna stop it now and go back and listen. It's not gonna feel natural. This general stuff, generally. There's some other words that I cannot pronounce. Literally. I don't know. There's a few words that I cannot pronounce. Anyway, fuck. What I was talking about? I genuinely forgot. My memory is getting so bad now. Anyway, okay. Let's talk about conspiracy theories then. let's do this because I wanted to. Maybe this episode will be an hour and a half, mate. Don't worry about it. We have time. Hold on. I have today is a bit more of an easy day for me. I'm like taking it a bit easy. Oh, you know what happened when I was so before the podcast I was doing some research and I opened Facebook and do you know a website called Lad Bible? Oh, hold on. I was talking about the girl. Yeah, about the crazy girl that they was trying to set me up. See, I remember. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I told you need to proper pay attention to this podcast because it's all over the place. This is just how my mind works. Yeah, so the girl, yeah, and there was like, she's really, really crazy. Honestly, like she's obsessive. Maybe she'll get physical and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. And then they said, oh, by the way, she is minted, like proper minted. Minted, that's a word we use in the UK for rich people, proper rich. And I was like, hold on, what? And they was like, yeah, her parents are leaders of industry. I think she's a student in the UK, and she's a student in Liverpool, I think, but I think her parents are from down south or something. You know what I mean? And I was like, whoa, like genuinely a lot of money. And the thing is, I'm a yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a gold digger, but definitely a girl that has money. It's like, okay, that's interesting because, hey, bro, it's a recession out here, man. You know what I mean? Everybody's on the hustle. That's why I don't judge women. You know, I really don't like when people try to shame women for like the whole, like sugar daddy or gold diggers or that type of stuff. No, go out there and get your fucking money. You know what I mean? I'm not even joking. It's fucking hard times out here, mate. You know what I mean? So if a girl has money, that's definitely a plus, and especially if her parents are like, for instance, if they're part of an industry and they're very well connected. Like, look, I'm very open about it. I wanna make a industry. I wanna make a career in the entertainment industry. It's not by all means. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean. I have some principles and morals that will never change. Doesn't matter what type of opportunities people give me. But you know what I mean. If there is a woman and she just happens to have parents that are really well connected in the entertainment industry. I'm not saying I'm gonna date her because I can get into that industry, but that's a plus. That's what I'm trying to say because I think that ask any woman and she will tell you, like most women will tell you, that money are not everything and they're not that important. But if a guy has like a really nice car, it's a bonus. Doesn't mean maybe there are maybe like 10% of women or whatever will be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna date him no matter what because of the car. But most women, I think like 80-90% of women will be like, if I wanna date him, I'm gonna date him for him, but the car is a bonus. So for me, it's the same. Like if I wanna date somebody, I will. But if she has money or if she has connections or whatever, there's just a bonus. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna stay with her just because money or something. That's stupid. And they was like, they're leaders of industry, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, okay, set me up. But nothing happened. Which and then I said, no, please don't. And I don't know this girl, who she is and stuff like that. And I think she's not in Liverpool anymore. I've never met her, but I wish her all the best. And she's a bit clingy, or whatever. But hey, what I'm trying to say is, if you're a girl and you have some money and you have some connections, slide into my DMs, okay? Because I'm broke and I'm hustling, I'm bustling, and I need that money, okay? And if your father or your mother can get me a Netflix special or something, even though I have only 15 minutes of 50-50 kind of meh comedy, hey, hit me up, okay? I'm not picky. I don't care how you look. I don't, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, we have time. Okay, so let's do the conspiracy theories. But before that, I was opening Facebook. There's a website called Loud Bible, and I don't know if you know it. So I don't follow news. This is just how I am, mate. I do not follow anything. It's This is the only place. So Loud Bible and what's the other one? Lad Unilad. So these are the only two I wouldn't even say news channels because it's only online website and they have like social media and stuff, but it's more like humor, jokes, a bit of gossipy news and a bit of actual real news. So if I get something, because I cannot watch like the main, like CNN or here BBC or Fox News or whatever, because it's just non-stop, you know what I mean, end of the world type of news, and I just can be bothered with that. So they post all type of stuff, and this is what I just saw right before I started the podcast. This was one of the news because I look at their Facebook or Instagram stories, and they have the news and they have the little swipe up. So if you swipe up, you go to the website, you can read the full quote unquote story. So this was the story. Hold on, this was the title. Gwyneth Paltrow sells a candle that smells like her vagina. Oh, do you want me to read this again, mate? Just in case. Yeah, I will. So it's Gwyneth Paltrow sells a candle that smells like her vagina. Okay. First of all, who the fuck is Gwyneth Paltrow? No, honestly, mate, I don't. Who the fuck is Gwyneth Paltrow? Let's have a look. Like, I'm sure she's like a Hollywood something. Gwyneth. That is a very strange name, though. Gwyneth. I've never heard that name. Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, look. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Strong. Gwyneth Keyworth. Fucking hell. And all of these are actresses with that crazy name, Gwyneth? I've never heard. Is that like a traditional Welsh or Irish name or something? And I'm insulting by accident like a whole nation, and everybody's really mad at me. Let's see. Okay, so how old is this one? 47. Oh, she looks good, man. 47. A bit of a MILF. MILF, MILF, MILF. She's married to Brad Falchuk. Let's see how. I don't know why, but I always check the husbands, the spouses, because I'm just interested to see what type of a guy. Yeah, oh, he's a good looking fella. I'm always. Yeah, fair enough. I'm always interested to see what type of a man can get a woman like that. I get very distracted now when I'm watching something else or reading. I want to see what type of movies she's been in. Iron Man? Really? The Politician. Huh. 2019. Shakespeare in Love. 98. Iron Man 3. Shallow How. Oh, I've seen Shallow How. It's a funny movie. I like it. 7. Glee. Okay, she's been in some interesting movies. I genuinely don't know who that is. I've just heard the name, Gwyneth Paltrow, but I think she's not relevant anymore. I do apologize, Gwyneth, if you're listening, and I know you are, but sorry, mate. It's like, I don't think you're relevant anymore, is it? Like all the movies that you've done, they've been popular back in the day. But she was in Endgame, really, Avengers? Ah, who did she play? Tony Stark's husband, right? What else? Great Expectations, 98. A Perfect Murder, 98. View from the Top, 2003. So, yeah, okay. So she was really. I feel kind of bad for the Hollywood actresses. I mean, for the women. It's kind of unfair, though, isn't it? Because, like, they have, like, this really short peak of maybe no more than 10 years, even less, when they're like really pretty, and then they're just tossed aside, which is kind of sad. Like this girl, she's really popular now as a Robbie Margot, I don't know, like the Harley Quinn girl. I genuinely don't follow. I follow very few things in pop culture, so I don't know what the hell's happening, but I guarantee you that in 5 years or 6 years, unfortunately, and I think she's phenomenal, mate. Honestly, like it's very rare for me to distinguish what good acting is. Like the Joker movie, that was terrific acting, because I don't really know when I see it, because they make it look so easy, so I don't really know. But she was really good, but unfortunately, in a few years, she's gonna be tossed to the side, because I don't know, man. Hollywood is just weird like that. It's not like that with men, and that's very unfair. I don't think it should be that way. Like, if she's a good actress, even when she gets older, and even if she doesn't look as young as she was, even though this Gwyneth Paltrow woman, she looks outstanding for 47. No, she looks outstanding. Doesn't matter for what age, not only 47. But I think like Robbie, Rob, Margot, whatever the fuck. Sorry, Sorry, bro, if you're listening. And I think she should. She's very talented. So why, even if she becomes older, I think they should still keep her because she's talented. It's not that with guys though. Like all the guys that we know, they've been on screen for fucking 40. Look at Clint Eastwood, mate. He's like fucking 107 years old. Brad Pitt is 50. Leonardo DiCaprio is 46, 47. He's been acting since he was like 17 or something. And they just keep, even if their looks change, they just still keep them. What I'm trying to say is Hollywood fucking change your ways, motherfuckers. And start making some good movies. Hollywood, what the fuck, man? Making all these stupid movies pissing me off. I'm gonna do an episode where I'm gonna talk only about movies and how disappointed I am. Hollywood's completely lost the ball. These stupid movies. Pissing me off. So let me see. How do you think? Let's see Gwyneth Paltrow. I want to see pictures again. I'm just trying to figure out how her vagina will smell. Because. Hey, mate, if you just tune in. Can you imagine if somebody jump cut to this part of the episode out of nowhere, just random on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and he hears this sentence? Okay, let me see how Gwyneth Paltrow looks. I just want to figure out how her vagina smells. Oh, that would be so much fun, though. That would be a funny quote if it's taken out of content. Content? Contest. Content, yeah. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Let's have a look. Gwyneth Paltrow. She looks... I don't know, man. She just looks like a generic Hollywood girl. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing distinguishing about her. Just, yeah, good-looking blonde lady. I mean, I don't... Does she have a nose job? Let's have a look. I'm turning... I love doing this podcast. It turns like a fucking gossip. This show, I'm gonna do a gossip show, definitely like a gossip episode. But I'm just like, okay, on the latest episode of the Mike Yanek show, okay, let's have a look if Gwyneth Paltrow has a nose job. Okay. Oh my god, did you see the latest photo of her body transformation and her bikini shoot on Miami Beach? Hey. Okay, do you think she has a nose job? I think, in Hollywood, when they have the nose jobs, it looks very weird on the at the bottom of the nose. It looks kind of sharp. It looks, I don't know, nose jobs are genuinely weird. I don't get that. I mean, I have a horrendous nose, but I'll never get a nose job because first of all, you always know. I've always, when I see a woman, it's usually women I've never seen. Maybe there's some guys who do nose jobs, but I've never seen them. But when I saw a woman, I always know straight away. All right, that's a nose job. Yeah, and that was like, even when I do gigs, if there's a woman in the audience, I know before the gig I cannot stop looking at her. And even if I've talked to women with nose jobs, and I just like the whole time I'm just nodding my head and I'm just staring at the nose, and I was like, "You have a nose job. You have a nose job. Yeah, you guys have a nose job. Goddamn." You know what I mean? I'm just, my mind is shouting. I can barely focus on what she's saying because I need to reply and give an answer. But I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? This is a nose job. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of dangerous for the nose because it can. I'm not. Nah, it becomes more fragile. I think when they start removing shit, and it can break more easily. I think, and it depends what type of nose job or rhinoplasty, how we call it in our industry. Hey, but I think it can. There's different types, and if I think there is one type where the bridge of the nose they construct. So if you don't have a bridge on the nose, they construct one, and I think it's very dangerous. And I think every 5 years or something, you need to go for. mm, I don't know how is it called though. On the boob jobs when they do the boobs, and you need to go every few years, maybe 5 or 10 years or something, to do like this little procedure to keep them in place or whatever the fuck. I think they do the same stuff for the nose job as well. Gwyneth Paltrow. That's an interesting name. Let me see this other lady though. Yeah, fuck conspiracy theories, mate. Hold on, let me have a look. How we doing? Oh shit, mate. Oh no, I have 10 minutes. Oh yeah, I have 10 minutes and I need to go. I have shit to do today. I need to write some new material. I am writing some new material, and I've been such a good boy. Over the Christmas break. This was like ages ago, but I did. Oh, I wrote. I have 4 new bits. Ho ho ho! Around maybe 8 or 9 minutes, and I'm so happy. But I need to try them on stage. and I need to find the venue, because now I'm gonna do more venues for new promoters, people that never seen me before, and I'm gonna start branching out, and I'm gonna do more gigs in Manchester, because in 2019 I did gigs at the same venues for same people, because I just wanted to learn, stage presence and all that stuff. And I just wanted to work on material and to build solid material. And now I have solid 10 minutes. So I'm gonna do, I have solid 10 minutes, and I have around maybe another 10 minutes, which is kind of so meh. Like it's kind of the stuff if you do maybe 40 minutes, you have 10 minutes in the middle, because the first maybe 15 minutes are really really strong, and you got them all hyped up in energy, and you can cruise with those 10 minutes. You can just oversell, and because they're so in the moment and hyped up, it will do well. But when I was doing just the material, just those 10 minutes by themselves out of nowhere, oh man, that was some tough gigs, mate. I was doing you know the bit where ah shit, hold on, my studio is falling apart, mate. I was doing this bit about, because I went to the gay bars and stuff a couple of times with me mates, and I had a boss time. I was just telling what happens, like a 7 minute long story. But that story, oh man, because like I'm a straight guy, and if you talk about stuff like that, people will be very like, oh, hold on, where are you going with this? You know what I mean? It's a really cute, fun story, and it's a true story. It's not homophobic. It's not mean. It's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm a very open-minded guy, and I love everybody. So, but it was like, oh man, I fucking died on my ass a few times, mate. And I'm pretty sure probably one or two bookers probably blacklisted me, because they thought, oh, this guy, what type of stuff he's talking about. But the story is good. I like it now, and I had actually gay people tell me, oh, this is a very very fun story. I'm happy that you had a fun time, all that stuff. But if you try new material or something that is not that strong all by itself, you'll be like, oh man, I had some cases where I fucking died on my ass for like a month straight. But now things are good, because finally, the gay bar story, it took me 8 gigs. It took me 8 rewrites until I get it right. 8 times I died. Well, I didn't die on my ass, but I didn't went as usual. You know what I mean? 8 fucking times. But I was like, you know what? I wanna, because I need to learn how to tell a story, and I need to learn how to do like something that I'm quote unquote not easily allowed to talk about. Make it seem not only funny, but make it seem just like a normal experience. This is what I really wanted to do with that story, because every comedian, depending on their like race and sexuality and where you're from, you have like this circle of things. Like I'm white, I'm straight, I'm Bulgarian, right? So I can make jokes about Bulgarians, I can make jokes about Eastern Europeans, yeah, that word, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? About being an immigrant in the UK, that's okay. I can take a little jab at, like maybe like Brexit or stuff like that. I can do that. I can also talk about guy stuff. I can make fun of men. I can make fun of. I usually don't do the race stuff. I don't really talk about race. And my even doesn't matter. I don't talk about race in my stand up. I'm just not interested. But I can make fun of like me and other white people, whatever, straight people. But there is some category like if a straight white guy starts talking about like gay people or like going to a gay bar or whatever, that's kind of out of the zone that you're. You know what I mean? This is kind of outside the box, and you need to be funny. You need to be clever. You know what I mean? You don't need. It does not. It has to come in a way that doesn't seem hateful. You know what I mean? And I'm never that way. So for me, it was interesting to see if I can do that. And I think finally I managed to do the story right. And I have a few other stories that are, they're not my best material, but if I do a long, I can put them in the middle. But I've been writing. I've been writing a lot, and I have 4 new stuff. Um, I need to try them. I need to find a venue. So when I go to the new promoters, I'll just do my best stuff because I want to make a good impression. They'll be like, "Oh, you can come again." And next time when I come, then I can try the new material. So let me have a look. What I was looking, I just want to see the other Gwyneth. Gwyneth Strong, innit? Gwyneth. That's a powerful surname, though, dude. There are some people in this country with such badass names. No, surnames. Sorry, with such badass surnames. that I feel kind of jealous. Honestly, like I've seen people. There's a comedian in Liverpool. I love him. He's outstanding. His name is Peter Edge. His surname is Edge, and I think that's his real surname. I need to ask him actually. That is the most badass surname, one of the most actually that I've ever heard. Edge, are you kidding me? Strong. That's bad name. Rock, that's a badass surname. I like when there's a color like green, black, white, brown, whatever. I like when it's I don't know why. I just like Mr. Green. You know what I mean? Like I just like it. Um, let's see this. Is she like an old actress? Oh yeah, she used to be back in the day. Yeah. Okay. But I'm not gonna. So the thing is, okay, enough of this shit. Um, before I finish, let me just do like a little tease, okay? Is that okay for you? That's okay for you. Little tease about the conspiracy theories. What we're gonna do is, so the next episode, I'll do the conspiracy theories, and I'm gonna talk about Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster. I'm not really sure. Are they really conspiracy theories? Those two, isn't it more like because conspiracy theories like the whole Illuminati, that type of shit. 9/11, those type of stuff. I don't know if those really are conspiracy theories. Anyway, so I'm gonna do those. Then we're gonna do lizard people. Like lizard people is one of my favorite conspiracy theories. And by the way, I don't believe in any of them except maybe UFOs. But I think conspiracy theories are just insane, and I'll tell you a few stories of because I've met people who are so deep into this nonsense. I felt sorry for them, honestly. Lizard people is outstanding. If you don't know, people think that the world is run by like a race of lizard overlords who control everything and they know everything, but they're just disguised as people. And these are usually like the royal family or heads of state or some, I don't know, people somewhere in the shadows, like a cabal of, like really, really famous, rich, powerful people, which is absolutely bonkers. I mean, come on, let's be fucking honest. Um, then we have chemtrails. Chemtrails, that's so stupid. Those people who think that the government spreads chemicals in the air through airplanes and stuff. Fucking stupid. You have to be meant to believe shit like that. Then you have UFOs, which is the only one which I think is kind of true, but I don't know if they ever visit us. You know what I mean? Because some people, oh, they've been here, they visit us. I was downstairs. I was coming downstairs, got a cup of coffee, and then I look out the window and I saw, goddamn, is that a UFO? And I was like, Meredith, come over here, bitch. You need to see this shit. And she was like, what, Bubba? I said, come over here. You didn't see this little shit. So we go outside, me and my wife, and a cup of Joe, okay? And this shit just comes down out of nowhere. It looks like a big satellite dish. Yeah, allow me some TV. And this little ramp comes down, and you have all these little green space people coming down. And I was like, holy shit. I look at my wife and I say, Meredith, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe that these little green space aliens will come here visit us in our ranch, in our farm. I saw all the cows, was good, and I was like, don't worry about a cow. These little green people, they're our friends. So they come down, I come over there and they say, hey you, little Martian, can I come and shake your hand? They say, Nanu, Nanu, and I say, okay. But I said, Meredith, come over here, take my gun and my shotgun just in case. We want to blow these motherfuckers. And when then we shake our hands, we have a cup of tea, very friendly people. And then they abducted me and my wife, and they put a device up our buttholes. I've seen documentaries like that, mate. Like, honestly, I've seen when I was a kid, I used to be really into that shit. Like, when you're 17, you're stupid, you don't know what's happening, but I used to be into that shit. And all the documentaries, people, genuinely, I was in my farm and, they just come out of nowhere. They abducted me, that type of shit. Then we have Flat Earth. Oh my god, dude. I think this is like it's relatively new. Flat Earth, though, isn't it? But how fucking stupid, genuinely, you have to be to believe that flat earth is a thing. These people, I'm genuinely like surprised that people can be that stupid. But I think that most of them, it's just an act, isn't it? There is no way they believe that shit. And the last one, is hollow earth, which is very interesting, by the way. I don't know if you've heard this one, but there's people who believe that the earth is actually hollow on the inside, and there's like a whole nother earth or universe or whatever inside that earth. It's like underground people, like a whole different civilization. Obviously it's obviously it's nonsense, but it's very interesting, and I think they've done like a movie and like a few books about that idea. Sometimes I just find stuff like that interesting as ideas. But so yeah, this is going to be what I'm going to talk about the next time. And maybe, what, I'll start doing at the end of each episode. If I have some topics for the next episode, I'll be like, next episode, blah, 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 blah. I can just tease you. I just like teasing you for a bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not always a good boy. Sometimes I'm a bad boy. Ooh, yeah. So that's about it, mate. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you're having a smashing week. I hope that you're out there hustling, bustling, shaking that dick, shaking that booty, making that money. And I hope everything works out for you, mate. And I'll speak to you next week. Thank you for listening. And now enjoy the outro music from the Mechanic Show. This was the Mechanic Show. Really like doing this show. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. See you next week. Bye.